ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Back like we never left. And we're back like we never left. It is Live Zone from Live Zone Sports. We got off the ropes here for you guys. We haven't been giving you a lot of WWE content because there's been a lot going on with football and basketball. So we thought that this was the perfect time to give you guys some content on the WWE market. Apologies as well for the last few days. I know that this was supposed to come out before the Rumble, but we ended up changing it a little bit because of some technical difficulties. But we're going to get right into it right now. We're going to start off by the first inductee of the Hall of Fame this year in WWE, Triple H, 14-time world champion. We also have a one-time Hall of Famer for his biggest faction in D-Generation X with Shawn Michaels and the rest of the gang, X-Pac as well. I think that this was amazing. I think this needed to happen. Triple H, when you think of WWE, one of the first people that you think of is Triple H. And if he's not one of the first people that you think of, well, you simply just didn't watch in the 90s and early 2000s. And even now, because now he is the booker and he is really what we are looking at in the WWE market. He's the one that makes all the creative decisions. He's the one that makes all these talents big names, such as, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. Without Triple H, you wouldn't have those people involved as much as they would be if Vince McMahon was here running the show. I know that a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but at the end of the day, Triple H is really the whole creative work of WWE and what they have become in the last 2, 3, 4 years. So I think that this is well deserved. I know a lot of people are going to hate on it because, hey, he's the creative writer. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, Triple H is an amazing talent, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring as well. And he deserved this. He got in with D-Generation X and everything. That's perfectly fine. Having your guy, Shawn Michaels, right next to you. At the beginning, he was the sidekick to Shawn Michaels, but then Shawn Michaels ended up getting hurt, and then Triple H took over DX, and then Shawn Michaels came back and became Triple H's sidekick in 2006. I know a lot of you are not going to like the 2006 version of the D-Generation X. You thought it was too comical for D-Generation X, which I can agree with to an extent, but without a shout and a doubt, having Triple H being in the Hall of Fame, not just for the D-Generation X, he should also be there for Evolution. He should also be there by himself, and that's what we're getting. We are finally getting Triple H in the Hall of Fame where he rightfully deserves to be. I think that it's an amazing thing that Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, the guys that he really went up with and, grew with and everything like that, being the last three of the era, was the two guys to come in and introduce him into the Hall of Fame. And say that he was going to headline the Hall of Fame this year. I think it was perfect overall. And his expression, it meant something to him when he heard that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. So with everything that I have, watching wrestling as a wrestling fan when I was a kid, congratulations, Triple H. You 110% deserve everything that you are going to get after this with all the creative stuff and everything like that. Now we head over down to what's really going on. Who is going to be the guy or female or whatever it is to induct Triple H to the WWE Hall of Fame. And honestly, if I was Triple H, there's only one guy that could do it for me, and that's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon put Triple H through hell when all the click stuff happened, where Razor Ramon and Diesel were going to leave WWF going into WCW, and they had the famous curtain call. They couldn't suspend Shawn Michaels. Diesel and Razor were gone, so they ended up punishing Triple H because he was really the only guy that they could punish. So 110%, I think it should be Vince McMahon. I know it's probably not going to be Vince McMahon, but with the rightful ownership and everything that's happened in the last few years, I think that should be the person. But since I don't think it's going to be, because Vince McMahon has came out and said that he wanted to create his own wrestling company to compete with WWE. I think it's well known that it should be Shawn Michaels, his ride or die. I mean, at the Sorry, lost a little bit of connection there. Without shouting a doubt, Triple H and Shawn Michaels came up together, and he learned off of Shawn Michaels and what Shawn Michaels did and the attitude that he caused and the chaos that he caused. And he took it to another level in the Attitude Era, especially when he even turned on D-Generation X to join the corporate. And he ended up becoming his own thing, going into Evolution, creating Evolution, which had the past in Ric Flair, the present in Triple H, and the future in Randy Orton and Batista at the time in the early 2000s. I think that it 110% should be Shawn Michaels. I think it's his best friend overall. So if you were to get inducted to a Hall of Fame in whatever you were doing, would you want it to be some some guy that you went against that you were a rival against, or would you want it to be your best friend that you grew in the business with? I think that it's going to end up being Shawn Michaels. I don't see why it wouldn't be, other than, the narrative of bringing Vince McMahon back and having Vince McMahon induct Triple H into the Hall of Fame. But like I said, I don't see that happening. So for me, I think that it's pretty self-explanatory on who it's going to be to end up inducting Triple H to the Hall of Fame. And we got a lot to talk about. We still got the Royal Rumble to talk about. We got some more people that are going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame that we're going to be talking about. But before we get into any of that, we're going to head into one of our sponsors here, Atlanta Seafood and Steaks. If you haven't gone, go to their website, go hit up Terry. He's got some good stuff. He's got some good deals cooking as well. But we'll be right back and enjoy the sponsor. And that was Atlanta Seafood and Steaks. They got a lot of things cooking over there. Make sure you go check it out. Like I said, hit up Terry on Facebook. If you don't follow Jeff Dawson, I'm sure that he will be on my Facebook as well, because I did add him recently, and he's been very good to all of us at East Coast Sports Investors. So make sure you go check that out. Now we're going to head into a little crazy discussion on who will follow in the Hall of Fame for Triple H. There's a lot of people that could end up following Triple H in, but it's really unpredictable, because WWE likes to put people that are not even wrestling based in the WWE Hall of Fame. And it's like, well, why is not Bob Backlund, why is like there, there's just a lot of people. I just can't think of any. Like, why is Mike Tyson part of the WWE Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? So it's like, why are we going to put these people um, in the Hall of Fame when there are not, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of stars right now that we know that are in the WWE Hall of Fame. We recently saw Paul Heyman go. That was great. We recently seen The Undertaker go. That was great. But you know, there's so many stars that are in the WWE that are not in the Hall of Fame, and it's some of them are for shitty and you know, poor reasons, petty reasons. But some of them are, you know, it makes sense. Like why isn't Bam Bam Bigelow or the Big Show in the WWE Hall of Fame? Brian Pillman is another one. Chris Jericho, that will probably never, ever get in the WWE Hall of Fame. Why are they not in there? Um, I think it's very self-explanatory that you should have China go into the WWE Hall of Fame with Triple H because they were all part of that whole D-Generation X thing. Ken Shamrock could be another one. Lillian Garcia, one of the best announcers in WWE history, should be there. Owen Hart, one of his biggest rivals in WWE, should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. There's so many guys that could end up being there. But it's just, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's going to be people that are involved with Triple H in some way, shape, or form because usually that's what they like to do. But, you know, I could see the Nation of Domination being involved. I could see China being involved. I could see Owen Hart being involved. Names like that I could see being involved. I don't see, like, you know, I know it's going to happen some way, shape, or form, but like somebody's gonna get involved. Like like Shane McMahon could be another one that could be involved in the WWE Hall of Fame with Triple H. But you know, we shall see what happens. There's a lot of people that should be in the WWE Hall of Fame that are not in the WWE Hall of Fame, and it could be one of those classes that are huge and everybody talks about for years to come, like, oh, that's one of the best Hall of Fame classes that we've seen in WWE history, period. And you know, it could be one of those, or it could be a letdown where it's just Triple H and then a bunch of randoms like it was with Paul Heyman. um, so we shall see what happens there, but it would be nice. It would be nice to even, you know, see Evolution make it. Taz is another great guy that could get there. Great Muda. I mean, come on. There's so many names that I could just keep on naming to you that are not in the WWE Hall of Fame that should be. But we shall see what happens in the next few weeks. We're gonna see what happens. It's probably gonna be announced on Monday Night Raw. Usually, maybe Friday Night SmackDown will get one. But you know, in the next few weeks, Monday Night Raw is really where you want to be, especially with all the stuff brewing up between CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, which is what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to get into the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble just happened not too long ago. A lot of things happened. I'm going to start off with the female Royal Rumble match, and the only thing that I can really say is why? Why is Charlotte Flair winning this Royal Rumble? It seems like every time that Charlotte Flair comes back, she seems to win everything. The gold, the she's now a face, and the fans love her. I mean, she just won the Royal Rumble. I mean, come on, like we need a new start in the women's division. It can't just be the four horsewomen in Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and what was Sasha Banks, that is now in AEW as Mercedes Moné. But we need to start seeing people like we just saw Rhea Ripley win it a few years ago. That was perfect. Like Alexa Bliss was coming back this year. She should have been a hell of an entrant in the WWE Royal Rumble, and she ended up going out earlier than what we all expected. Liv Morgan, another one would have been Raquel Rodriguez that could have won the Royal Rumble, but instead we ended up seeing another sad and disappointing Rumble winner in Charlotte Flair. That if you look on WWE on YouTube, it has 22,000 dislikes. That should tell you something where the WWE is going on their women's division. It's unfortunate to see that they're just going to push out Charlotte Flair the way that they are continually and keep it going and just don't stop. And it's just one of those things that you hope that you hope and pray that Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley hold on to those titles, because those are the two people that should have the titles right now, because those are the up and coming stars that are going to bring the company to newer heights. That's the two women females that we have seen. Rhea Ripley, one hell of a talent. I mean, she is the best women's wrestler I think I've ever seen in WWE, period. And she's got one hell of a following, as well as Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy time for all my fans out there. Tiffany Stratton, she is the up and coming star. She is the one to watch out for. She's going to hold that title for a long time, but it really just doesn't look like she's even going to get the opportunity to be in a main event in WrestleMania day 1 or day 2, because she's going to be outshined by Rhea Ripley. So we shall see what happens with that. Charlotte Flair winning the Royal Rumble, I do not agree with. There was a million other choices that you could have picked to win the female Royal Rumble, but unfortunately, we got the same old sad news in WWE when it came to the girls' Royal Rumble. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the tag team division. I personally think that the tag team division is lacking. I think the Motor City Machine Guns, they're one hell of a team. I mean, we've been watching them since TNA days, if you get what I'm saying, in the old TNA where AJ Styles and everybody in the X division. This is really where they shine, and they're just not given the opportunity that they were given in TNA, and it's an unfortunate thing, because I don't think that DIY, do it yourself, Mr. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, or Johnny Wrestling for all the other fans out there of Johnny Wrestling, I just don't think that they're exciting. I don't think that they're worth a title run right now. I don't think that they are the best tag team in the division. I think the only reason why they really got it is because of what they did on NXT, which, hey, I'm a huge fan of NXT. I understand why you guys like them and everything like that, but they're trying to push them too much to be like D-Generation X, and they are far from it. Johnny Gargano could never tie the shoes of Shawn Michaels. And Tommaso Ciampa, he's great, but he just is not Triple H. And unfortunately, we're seeing them stuck with these tag team titles on the SmackDown brand. I just don't agree with it. I don't like it. I don't like seeing them with the titles. Pretty Deadly is right there. They are very talented, but they're not getting the opportunity the same way that the Motor City Machine Guns aren't. And then after that, we saw what could be the savior of the day in the Street Profits really turning heel and going after every single team after DIY got the W against the Motor City Machine Guns, which, hey, I'm all for it. I said that Montez Ford should have been a heel 3 years ago. So now that we're finally seeing it, I think that, hopefully they can save the day on the tag team division, because right now on SmackDown, the tag team division looks very weak, even though they got a lot of very talented teams on there. And then after that, I'm going to head over to the WWE Championship match, the ladder match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. And the only thing that I can say towards this is Cody Rhodes needs to turn heel. I'm not the only one that says this. Cody Rhodes is a bona fide heel. He is a masterclass that he could end up being one of those champions that are like the Roman Reigns type that holds the championship for a long period of time. But if you don't turn him heel, he's going to get stale because people are already treating him pretty much like a heel. After seeing that ladder match and after seeing him put Kevin Owens in the Alabama Slam onto the ladder and having Kevin Owens bleed like it was no tomorrow, I think, me personally, if you told me right now that Cody Rhodes was going to turn heel and was going to go against everybody, it would make not just Cody Rhodes' career better, but it would make the whole WWE better because we're starting to see this aggression towards Cody Rhodes. We're starting to see this evil side to him where he just wants to fight and he just wants to do his thing. And I think that that's perfect for a heel. Now, the match overall, it was great. I do think that Kevin Owens should have won. I think that they should give Kevin Owens a shot at the title and see what he can do, see if he can run with it. Because right now, with Cody Rhodes being there and everything, I personally am not a fan of his title reign as a face. I think that, once again, he should have been a heel 3 months ago when he beat Roman Reigns. So I did like the match. The match was great. It was Kevin Owens' comedy was amazing with the little ladder and everything, where he was getting up on the little ladder and he was like, like he was scared, and then after that got off and threw the ladder at Cody Rhodes. I loved it all. I loved the table shot as well, where it was the Alabama Slam and everything like that. I just didn't like how the old championship was involved. I didn't like that to begin with at all. I thought that that shouldn't have happened. If you were going to bring back the Winged Eagle belt, I thought it should have been fully, not just for like a one-time sake thing. I don't understand why they don't bring it back because that championship was a hell of a lot better than the championship that they have now. But I understand it overall because they just took the belt off Roman. They want to get it on somebody else. They got it on Cody. Now Cody's going to hold it for a little bit. But at the end of the day, Cody wanted to bring back that Winged Eagle belt since the beginning of when he joined WWE back in that WrestleMania and wanted to go after the title. So for me, I liked it overall. I would give it an 8 out of 10. It just wasn't that 10 out of 10 match that I was looking for. But that 10 out of 10 match, it does get a lot better from here because we're going to the Men's Royal Rumble. Starting out, number one, number two, Rey Mysterio and Penta couldn't have put that better. You have two of the best luchadors of all time going at it for a few minutes, and then after that, you bring in Chad Gable and Carmelo Hayes. I think that that was a great start. I think that, you know, having those two go at it, Rey Mysterio and Penta and everything, and having the crowd go at it with them, overall, it was perfect, right? Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry got a phenomenal entrance. The fans still love Joe Hendry, even though he's the TNA champion and not in the WWE NXT thing going on. I know that TNA is partnered up with WWE right now, but it really does look like TNA is going to end up keeping Joe Hendry after the partnership is all done and everything in years to come. But Joe Hendry got an outstanding ovation by all of the WWE fans. Jimmy Uso, I mean, Jimmy Uso looks great. Big Jim, I like the gimmick. I like what he's going for. He could end up going for the United States title in the near future. And Braun Breaker and I Show Speed was amazing. It was funny getting Tozawa out there and then him getting knocked out for I Show Speed to come out. And then I Show Speed eliminates Otis. And then after that, Braun Breaker gives him the fastest spear that we've ever seen. Then after that, Roman Reigns comes out, the GOAT, the tribal chief, the guy that we all been waiting for to see because we want to see what's going to happen. And then after that, him and Braun Breaker went at it as well, where Roman Reigns threw Braun Breaker out. Roman Reigns also had 4 eliminations in the first 5 minutes that he was in the ring, so that was great as well. We saw a lot of things happening with CM Punk and Seth Rollins and John Cena coming all in. We saw all 4 square up, and then a few minutes later, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, they finally start fighting, and then CM Punk throws them out, both of them at the same time. And then after that, I'm pretty sure it was Logan Paul. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but Logan Paul throws out CM Punk, and then after that, they all start arguing. Seth Rollins goes nuts. He curb stomps Roman Reigns not once but twice. One of them being on the steel steps, and then after that, he super kicks CM Punk. So it really does look. We pray for this. It really does look like we're gonna get CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, which if we do, that is one hell of a triple threat. That is going to be the match of the night. Hell, it might be even the match of the year, because those three know what they're doing. They know how to work a crowd. And with Paul Heyman being there as well, with the history, there's every which way. CM Punk got Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins into the Shield. Then after that, CM Punk leaves. The Shield becomes a big thing. Seth Rollins stabs him in the back, and now we're full circle here where Paul Heyman has matched himself up with Roman Reigns, where he used to be matched up with CM Punk. So there's a lot of history in that triple threat, but it's going to be worth it to watch to see where they go in the next few weeks with this. They got a lot of time to plan, but it's going to be exciting. Then after that, final three, we got Jey Uso, Yeet. We got John Cena, and we got Logan Paul. Logan Paul ends up getting thrown out by John Cena. John Cena and Jey Uso go at it for a few minutes, and then Jey Uso finally gets his flowers and becomes the biggest star in WWE at the moment, and wins the Royal Rumble, where it looks like he's finally going to get his first world title. You couldn't have pictured it better. I don't know why people are hating on Jey Uso getting his flowers, because it should have happened 2 years ago when he was with the Usos and the whole bloodline thing. It looks like right now the whole bloodline thing is unraveling too, because now Roman Reigns has commented on X that his word was yeet, because Jey Uso ended up winning the Royal Rumble, which means he agreed with it. It finally looks like we're going to see Roman Reigns give everything to Jey Uso where it all belongs. Because honestly, he is the most exciting, and he is the most, I don't want to say charismatic, but he is the second most charismatic in the bloodline, period. So that has been all for everything WWE wise lately. We're going to be here every week, starting this week, with some WWE content. We got the Royal Rumble out of the way. What's going to happen? We're going to see what Jay chooses for his championship. Is he going to go after Gunther on Raw, or is he going to go after Cody Rhodes on SmackDown? It looks like it's going to be Gunther. And then after that, we're going to see who goes against the other person as well, who's going after the other title, who's going after the United States title, because that's still Shinsuke Nakamura. He doesn't really deserve that championship, in my opinion. He hasn't been there for a few months, and then he comes out of nowhere and wins because he got a new gimmick. I don't like that personally. But there's a lot to continue. There's a lot to talk about coming in the WWE realm of things. And we're going to be here on East Coast Sports Investors every week, giving it to you, making sure that you're, kept up with the business and everything like that. So, make sure you follow East Coast Sports Investors. Thank you to Atlanta Seafood and Steaks. Thank you to WagerWire. Thank you to Viva Tequila Seltzer. And thank you as well to Sports Revolt to being sponsored and partnered with East Coast Sports Investors. Live Zone Sports, we got a football one coming to you. Well, it's half and half. It's football and basketball because there's a lot of news coming. And yeah, as always, stay tuned.